In the western tip of Syria, the rain doesn't come often. Instead, airstrikes pound down from the sky. A constant in the civil war that has plagued this nation for 8 years. Deadly chemicals poison Syria's people. The patients, covered in dust, suffocating, come here to Dr. Amani Ballour. She is a warrior of sorts in this conflict, the scale of terror enormous. By some estimates, nearly 500,000 people have lost their lives, 6.6 million displaced. Above ground, entire neighborhoods left destroyed and desolate. So below ground they went. Here, 65 feet below the surface, is a hospital they called the Cave.
It's scary because you feel you don't have any place safe.
Here in the Cave, Dr. Amani is in charge, the lead doctor at only 28 years old, a nearly impossible feat for a woman in Syria, but not for a woman like her. You wanted to do what girls don't get to do.
Yeah, we can. I dreamed of that. I know I can do something different. I have this idea very early. My sister get married on 13.
13.
Yes, but I didn't want that. I wanted to complete my studying, and I insist to do that. But all people around me and my family too, they refuse that because I'm female.
Against her family's wishes, she began studying to be a pediatrician, right as President Bashar al-Assad began waging war against his own people. By 2013, her city, Al-Ghouta, was under siege.
They gradually closed everything, every entrance to Al-Ghouta, and it was very bad situation. We don't have anything to eat, you know.
A fellow physician, Dr. Salim Nimor, had opened a small medical center underground. Amani went to volunteer.
I started in the Cave Hospital when it was at the beginning. It was about 2 or 3 rooms we have. We couldn't be because they targeted everything.
Hospitals, it didn't matter. Bomb the hospitals.
Yeah, they bombed the hospitals a lot of times, too many times. I can remember the Cave Hospital during 6 years, about 20 or more than times they targeted it.
Syrian-born filmmaker Firas Fayyad had heard about Dr. Amani and the plight of hospitals in the region.
There was a network of hospital was start to establish in Syria when the Syrian regime started to use the warplane targeting intentionally the hospital, because the hospital where the victims come, where the people gather, where the people be protected.
He began filming The Last Men in Aleppo, a film that focused on the rescue group, the White Helmets. He says he witnessed the regime's brutality firsthand.
I was jailed for 2 times, 18 months. So being tortured, they take my nails. They use a brutal way of torture. I don't know how I survived.
But he couldn't forget Dr. Amani and decided that his next film would focus on the network of underground hospitals and eventually this indomitable woman.
I see something powerful in shifting gender, in a situation of a heroine female.
Fayyad and his team's footage would be used for his next film, The Cave, a film done in conjunction with National Geographic documentary films, which flew us out to meet Dr. Amani.
كيف بدي امسك دموعي وانا عم شوف صورة انسانيتنا تشوهت قدامي.
الله أعلى.
It details the doctor's time underground, their hardships and successes. Dr. Amani is elected by her peers to lead the group, but there are patients who don't feel she was worthy of the title.
ليش ما في مدير يعني زلمه يكون قد حاله ويحسن مش بحاجتك في منصب اداري حصري هلا انا اشتغل هيك اشتغل هيك ما في حدا يملي علي شو بدي انا
They make me frustrated because I can do something. I wanted to do something, and the doctors in the hospital, they vote to me, they choose me to be the manager of the hospital.
It must be so important for little girls in Syria to see a woman do what you do.
Yeah, and I wanted that. I wanted them to see that. We have to break the barriers. We have to do something different. I wanted to support them and say, you can do that.
شو بدك تصيري لما تكبري؟ ما مقررة لسه؟ مو لازم تعرفي شو لازم تصيري؟ طيب نحن ليش عايشين؟ مشان شو؟ ما بتعرفي ليش عايشين؟ عايشين مشان نصير شغلة مهمة.
A lot of little girls said to me, we want to be manager, we want to be doctors.
For Dr. Amani, this is at the heart of what she and so many Syrians wanted in 2011 when the protests against the regime first started.
I saw the revolution in Egypt and Tunis before that. I was very happy. I thought that our revolution will be the same. And we say we want freedom. It's very simple thing. We want dignity. When someone prevents you, you feel angry of that. Something inside you push you to change this.
This was the doctors' rebellion, fighting to save lives, even as the regime seemed determined to take them. There's a moment in there after all you had seen when a woman loses her son, when you break down. What was it about that day and that moment and that child?
Yeah, I was. You saw me crying in this moment because I cry a lot before, you know. We are human, not machine. Okay, I'm doctor. I have to do my job. I'm not a mother, but I know that what she felt.
How many children do you think you lost that you saw during that period?
Oh, a lot of children. But I saw thousands of children, and I call them my children because I love them. And unfortunately, I saw some of them died in 2013 in the chemical attack, and others. We don't know what the problem is. We try to treat the symptoms, but we don't know that it was sarin.
This was March 2018, 4 years after the Assad regime had supposedly destroyed their high-risk chemical weapons. After this attack, Dr. Amani made the gut-wrenching decision to leave.
حاولت خلي الكل يعيشوا.
I love the hospital and everything in it, every place. I loved it. I wanted to stay, and I tried. me and my staff and all of us. They started very, very brutal attack on us, on civilians especially. We couldn't for a month, you cannot see anyone above the ground. When I get out the hospital, as you take my soul, it's very hard, it's very hard.
بدي افتح عيوني واشوف الضوء اللي بعيد اللي ورا البحر. حاولنا ما نموت، حاولنا نبقى ببيوتنا، هذا كل شيء. يا ترى رح يكون في عدالة؟
Next, Dr. Amani's journey out of Syria and how her life has changed now she is a refugee.
هلا بدي ارتاح فترة، لا بدي اشتغل ولا بدي ادرس ولا بدي شيء. رجع بالي ارجع لعند اهلي، ما برجع لعند الناس عم بسلم الي عند الناس.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.